Airbnb and Uber are two companies that are now worth billions of dollars because they took the power away from large corporates and gave it back to the people. Did you know that the music industry and the social media industry is worth over $34 billion a year, but to date, it's only been owned and controlled by the uber rich? Corp Records, my company, is taking the power away from these large corporates and giving it back to the people in what we call the Music Artist Syndicate program. The immense profits that music artists have made have normally been going into the coffers of the large record labels or the uber rich like Simon Cowell or the Richard Branson. Never before has normal people been able to share in the ownership of a music artist's brand, their music and their fandom until now. Let me quickly explain to you how a normal record label would work for a music artist. A music artist signs into what they call a 360-degree contract. In that 360-degree contract, the record label owns all of the master recordings that are produced by the music artists and can monetize their brand and their music, etc. But the revenues flow down like the music artist gets 20% of the revenues, but the record label gets 80% of the revenues. The major bad part for the music artist is this, that out of all of the advances and the investment that's been made into the music artist to create the music in the first place, all of those expenses are taken out of the artist's 20% portion of the revenue. This has been a very unfair model for the music artist, but has made record labels millions and millions of dollars over the years. Corp Records is going into much fairer deals with music artists, but in addition to these fairer contracts, we invite them to come into what we've set up as a new company that is the record label that they are signed to. This company has got three main parties: the artists themselves, Corp Records that provides the accountability and the business structure, and the third party in this company is our syndicate participants. That is the syndicate owners that actually own share of the major company or the record label that has signed that particular artist. This company has got the rights to monetize the music artist's music, their brand, and their fandom. And these companies can become very, very valuable. Now, as the owner of investment property, you buy an investment property and predominantly you get one form of income. That income comes from tenants or a lessee that's leasing your building from you. In the music business, a music artist creates assets, and those assets are held by the company that we have formed. It's called the Master Recordings. The beauty about this particular model is there are lots of opportunities to generate revenue from those companies. To give you an idea, we could get streaming revenues from companies like Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, etc. And then there is things like sync revenues. Anytime that a commercial operation wants to use your song in an advert or on television or in a movie or in a game, they pay you money. Then you've got things like merchandise, and then you've got things like concert revenues. You've got things like corporate gigs. There are lots. There's about 18 different ways or 18 different revenue sources that we get from our music artist assets that we have the exclusive ownership and rights to monetize. I want to invite you to an opportunity where you can invest into one of these music artist syndicates from as little as £100. This is an opportunity where you can get in at the early stages and help grow a music artist career to where they can become a global sensation. These companies can become worth lots of money and paying great returns. I'm Joshua Hunt, the CEO of Corp Records, and we're located about 19 miles south of central London. We have a great facility here. It's basically labelled the home of beats because it's where artists come to write, record and release music. We've created what we call the HCR music ecosystem. This ecosystem has 6 equal segments that we follow with every music artist we sign. If you watch the short video that's listed on the screen here, it'll help explain to you what our system is and what it does to ensure that our music artists get all of the support, all of the structure that they need to build successful music empires. Well, when we sign a new artist, we form a new company, and this company has 3 different partners. First of all is the music artist. They obviously bring the music and their brand and their fandom to the partnership. And then there is Corp Records. Corp Records brings the business system, the accountability to the program. And then there's the investment syndicate. The syndicate has a registered lien over the shares of the company, and the investors into this syndicate receive the benefits that flow out of the syndicated ownership of these shares. We have 2 exit strategies. The first one is Corp Records is building a trading platform that will be available late 2019. This trading platform will allow syndicate holders to buy and sell their syndicate ownership within our own internal network. This means that if you're an early investor into a brand or an artist and they've blown up and become very valuable, but you want to exit your position, you'll be able to sell out of that syndicate position within our network from our back of house. The second way is every artist that we work with, we have the intention to build into a large empire. When we built this company into a large empire, we plan to list them on either the public or the digital stock exchanges. When this happens, the syndicated ownership will automatically convert to now shares in that public company. Therefore, an investor, a syndicate holder, can buy and sell their shares when they please. Corp Records has developed our syndicate ownership program on blockchain technology. A lot of major banks all around the world are using blockchain technology because of its security and its transparency. When an investor buys into one of our syndicates, the syndicate ownership is registered and issued on our back-of-house system that is actually using blockchain technology. The syndicate owner can log into our system and see the ownership of their syndicate position actually registered on the blockchain. This gives our syndicate owners a lot of security and comfort that their ownership just can't be stolen. Investor security and protection is vitally important to us as a company. For this reason, we don't hold any of our investors' credit card information. When you purchase into our syndicate program and your payments from your credit card are processed online, this is all facilitated through external platforms like Stripe and PayPal. We can't guarantee that every music artist that we sign to Corp Records and syndicate is going to become a global superstar. But what we can assure you is that we are doing everything in our power to make sure that this happens. What you need to understand is we are all in this together. Our music artists, Corp Records, and our syndicate holders, we only win if the company wins. We started the company in late 2016, and since then we've been approached by some of the largest music artists on the planet. These artists have seen our success and had a look at our business model and want to come on board. One of our music artists is called Fleur East, and we recently released a song in January 2018 called Favourite Thing. We put together a strategic marketing plan that doubled her social following within the last 2 months of 2018. The day that we launched her song, it went to number 3 on the UK iTunes charts, and within 3 weeks had over 1.5 million streams on Spotify and over 500,000 YouTube views. We now have sync deals and sponsorships coming in just about every day. So yes, we are having some fantastic success with our model. The new companies that we form with each of our music artists and our syndicate partners together have exclusive rights to monetize the artist, their music and their brand. This company holds the ownership of the master copyright assets. These assets remain the ownership of that company not only for the life of the artist, but for actually 70 years after the artist has died. For example, the Beatles copyright recently sold for $2 billion because that company and those copyrights continue to generate over $200 million a year in cash flow revenues. If you have a look at the boy band One Direction, in 2017, they made over $110 million profit. In addition to that, they recently sold just 25% of their company for $100 million. Therefore, their company is valued at over $400 million. Music artist ownership can become very, very valuable both in cash flow and in the ultimate value of the underlying asset. Our accounts department do quarterly reports and then pay profits to the company's shareholders. This includes the music artist, Corp Records, and the syndicate, and then through the syndicate through to the syndicate holders. Our companies are based in Hong Kong. The reason for Hong Kong is not only have we lived in that region for about 7 years, and the legal system is based on Commonwealth law, but that region actually has a very low company tax rate. This means that we have more profits to distribute to the shareholders of the company. It is very important when you go into any investment, no matter what size, that you seek your own tax and legal advice based on your own taxation laws from where you live. But as a syndicate holder, you hold shares of a syndicate, and the syndicate has legal right over the shares of the company. This means that you don't have to declare that you're the owner of a foreign company's shareholding. But if and when the syndicate pays you a return, you may need to declare this as income, but seek your own legal advice on that. Yeah, sure, you can invest in more than one artist. The fact is, we actually give first options of new artist syndicates coming onto the market to our existing syndicate owners. I suggest that you spread your investment over a number of artists just to simply spread your risk. We require all syndicate investors to hold their position for a minimum of 12 months. Yeah, we organise a number of events every year where syndicate holders can meet and mix with their music artists. We believe that this model is going to totally revolutionise the entire music industry. We would like to see thousands of music artists partnering with us and having huge global success that is being shared by our army of syndicate holders.